I am Eric, the moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone for today's webinar. The DOL makes another legal decision for independent contractor classification for 2026. I want to introduce our presenter for today, Margie Fogg. Margie Fogg is a senior level human resource professional with over 15 years of HR management and compliance experience, a current compliance advisor for HR Compliance Solution LLC. Margie holds a professional human resource certification PHR from a HR Certification Institute HRCI and SHRM certification from the Society for Human Resource Management. I would like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Margie.
Well, thank you, Eric. Thank you so much. And I want to thank everyone in attendance today. Now, we're going to talk about the Department of Labor. Now, what's happening now is that the Department of Labor made changes, okay? And we're going to look at what the changes are and also some of the challenges. We're going to learn how to understand the 2026 independent contractor new rule. We're going to learn how this proposal hasn't been a regulation and what it takes to make it official. We're going to learn what date the new rule may become effective. We're going to learn how this decision may impact FMLA, FLSA, and seasonal workers. We're going to learn how the DOL classification of employees versus independent contractors has employers and professionals confused. We're going to learn how public comments on the Federal Register process can impact the DOL decision, and you can be part of those public comments. We're going to learn the definitions of economic reality test and what's the difference between that and who benefits. We're going to learn how this initiative is designed to increase predictability for employers. We're going to learn how the two primary criteria, nature and degree of control and opportunity for profit or loss, pertains to employers. And we're going to learn how to mitigate all these confusions, or what I call whiplash, to make sure that you can make sure that you are able to manage and be compliant. So let's start with the information. Now, the 2026 Independent Contractor Rule was initiated by the Department of Labor. What I like to at least share is, what are the key differences between the 2026 proposed rule versus the 2024 rule? So why is the DOL changing this time? So what's the difference? So what is the Federal Register? Why should we care? So what else is really happening here, though? So how will this impact employers? So let's get to how this impacts us. The 2026 Independent Contractor Rule is effective. Okay, now it says April 26, but we have until April 28. But the bottom line, and something that all of you in attendance could understand, is what is misclassification of workers? It has all of those negative impacts. Why do employers do it? So the Fair Labor Standards Act, okay, the FLSA, okay, is a critical compliance area. So why do governments care about misclassification? So let's talk about the independent contractor versus employee, understanding the difference. What is an independent contractor? An independent contractor is a self-employed individual who provides services to a client under a contract agreement. So let's break these tax forms down. So on January 10th, 2024, the U.S. Department of Labor published its final rule for modifying its existing test to determine whether a worker is an independent contractor or an employee under the Fair Labor Standards Act. What is the impact on the gig economy by the new independent contractors? Temporary workers versus independent contractors. So what do? employers must conduct internal audits. How are independent contractors paid? So let's end this on the independent contractor or employee. I also want to thank all of you for joining this session. So at this time, I look forward to seeing everyone virtually in future training. And as I mentioned, be safe and so long.
Thank you, Margie. That concludes the session for today. Thank you everyone for participating. You may all disconnect now. Have a great day ahead.